welcome back to my channel. We've upgraded the quality, as you can see. This is where I talk about natural hair, travel stuff. I mainly post on my Instagram, but today we're going to be talking about basically how to scoop your hair into a ponytail, a low ponytail. So you're definitely going to need some type of edge control. You're gonna need like a hard bristle brush. These for your edges when we get there, and then definitely a rat tail comb or some sort of like fine tooth comb. Clips for sectioning, maybe like 2 or 3 hair ties just to get it all sectioned up in there. And then lastly, you're gonna need a scarf or 2. There was a lot of people who requested for this video because they saw pictures of me with my hair like that, and people basically were wondering like how I get it so slick without it being really textured. Like, you know, like 3C type 3 girls, like they can slick their hair and it be like really slick. Type 4 girls, we can get away with doing stuff like that, but our texture, it wants to revert based on how you're going to style it back. But I really recommend that you stretch your hair prior to it, so that's why my hair is in a twist out, or you could do like a braid out. And I don't work on damp hair unless you want that style, but I don't personally, not for this look I'm going for a straight ponytail. I don't want that style at all, so I'm gonna try and get it as slick as possible. So I just grabbed a little bit of oil, and I'm gonna take down this twist out. I just did these last night because my hair always tangles, so I wanted to make sure it was completely tangle free. So it's still like a little bit damp at the root, but I can work with it. Okay, so what you're gonna want to do is work in sections. I'm gonna just part my hair and divide it by front and back, because we're gonna start with working from the back to the front. So I'm just gonna section this away. So now we got a little ugly half up, half down thing going on. I'm gonna part my hair again and basically work in even smaller sections back here, because the smaller the better. Like the coilier your hair is, the better it is to work in smaller sections, because it will reduce any lumps in your hair, and you'll just make sure that you're getting it all slicked back. So what I'm gonna do first is, since my hair is a little bit damp, I'm not gonna spray any water or anything like that, but you wanna make sure that your hair is moisturized prior to doing this, because you don't want to work on dry hair, especially because you're going to be using like hard bristle brushes. I don't want you to be like, you know, really damaging your hair, like trying to be rough with it when it's in its dry state, because that's not really a good look. But make sure it's at least moisturized. You at least sealed in some moisture. It's at least protected, you know, so that you're not working with it like that. And you also don't want to work on super wet hair, because your hair is also going to be fragile in that state. So damp, you can work on damp hair, or you can work on just completely dry hair, because you're just going to be slicking it back. But yeah, I'm running out of it. I'm literally almost gone. Me and my sister use this a lot. And I'm also going to be using Gorilla Snot. I'll be using these two, and I might just take like a regular edge control, something to help me slick, at least for the back. When it gets to the front, I know I need that to be like slick, because it's gonna be covering up the rest of them. I just need the hair right now in the back to lay down as flat as possible. It doesn't need to be like with heavy product, if that makes sense. Sorry, I keep looking at the viewfinder.
About was you, how you make me know the one with you, relationship with you. Think about all the things that come along with you, making me the one with relationship with you. This is what you do. Think about
hair is already detangled. It'll just help me when I use the rat tail comb to like smooth it a little bit. For now, to hold it in place. And I'm just gonna keep doing that in sections until I get to about the middle. But now I'm going to just go like piece by piece versus taking a whole row. I'm taking this small piece now, and you see how it's already detangled, so it'll really help me out when I'm trying to slick it. If you have like those silver clips, those are helpful too. But I'm just gonna pin it to the other side so that while I continue to work on this side, it's holding, and then I'll switch over. Instead of undoing this rubber band every time, I'm just gonna use clips to like hold each section down. And once you take a good number of like parts and slicked it back, then you can take out the big scrunchie and then wrap them all around each other again, or wrap the scrunchie around all the hair that you packed, that you slick backed. So again, I'm taking the gorilla's knot just for the back section, and I'm about to do another small piece in the back, and especially get it nice and slick. Take out the scrunchie. Once I've gotten like the full row, I take out the scrunchie and then like smooth it down. I wouldn't tie them so tight if it was any other type of hairstyle, but because I'm like trying to allow it to dry and like set, so I pull it taut. It's like the same idea of stretching. I'm trying to pull it taut in the ponytail so that it conforms to that stretch. You can brush it while it's out. That helps too. With the smoothing, you see how it's already kind of getting, I know it's like reverting. It wants to revert, so you don't want to put too much. But whatever you're using, like a pomade might be best because it doesn't really, a pomade doesn't really revert. It kind of holds, but you essentially are making the hair heavy with product and weighing it down so that it slicks. So where it's gonna matter is here, so it's more crucial to make sure I slick it there because that's what's going to be actually showing, versus here you just want to make sure that it lays down so that there's not like a bump like here in the middle of your head when you're laying it down. You want to make sure that this is as flat as possible. So especially for the middle, I'm gonna take my time. If I have to section it a little bit smaller, then I'll section it a little bit smaller. This might not be an issue for somebody with like low density, because you don't have to worry about getting your hair to lay flat, because your hair could probably do that easier than mine can. So now that I have this back section pretty much flat, I want to use this hair scrunchie to wrap it around. And then that's the last time I'm undoing the hair scrunchie. I'll be using another scrunchie for the front half to pull it to the back, because if I keep undoing this one, it's not gonna make sense because the hair is not having time to like lay flat by it being pulled taut. I'm just juggling. So far this is the back. I usually like to put my head down as I'm tying the scrunchie around, because you wanna make sure that it's not pulling at your nape. Like this right now is not hurting me, but I'll probably go in with the rat tail and like just gently pull some hair out so that there's no tension there. If you're gonna go to sleep in this style for whatever reason, you basically want to make sure that the perimeter of your hair is not so tightly pulled, because you don't want it to lead to tension or your edges thinning. So you just want to make sure that you keep this not too tight. So what I'm gonna do now is I split it into 2 parts, and because I have high density hair, it's not all gonna fit. If it's gonna be a really big bush if I just keep taking this top part and taking it to the back. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna braid these 2 sections here so that it's smaller to work with. So this section is the section that matters. This whole section. Now that the middle is like smoothed out, you're basically just taking this and doing the same thing, but this time I'm going to be using Black Panther Strong as the little bit that I have left. I'm going to cut it in half again, just so that I know what I'm working with. And then I can also begin to part the piece in the front, the section in the front. I can part it how I want to. So whether that's a middle part or a side part, but I'm going to do a side part. So I'm going to section this part off and then just make sure that this is enough hair to do the parting that I want. I feel like pomades work best when the hair is damn near dry. I feel like they hold better. To me, my opinion. I feel like they hold way better in achieving the slick than you doing it on damp hair. So by this time the front of my hair is already damp, so it's not gonna give me much trouble in shriveling up. If you feel any lumps, that's when you come in with the rat tail comb. I'm scared I'm gonna run out of this, so I'm gonna switch to this until I could use this at the very front. I just wanted to let you guys know. So I'm gonna do the same thing to this side, and then I'm gonna come back when I start parting this. And I'm gonna show you the back. But now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a side part. So now that my part is parted, I'm basically going to have 3 sections. I'm gonna put this one away so you guys can see, and then I have these 2 to start with. So this is now when I'm gonna be using, you know, the hard stuff, and I'm trying to get that real like slick, so I could put a scarf over and it could be like flat. I just want to make sure that there's no tangles or anything like that, because I'm gonna be doing these in smaller sections and I don't want no problems. I basically put the pomade on both sides, and I basically try to get it to slick, get all the product to distribute on both sides. That's why it's important to work in smaller sections. And then I'll take that, and if need be, I don't really have to because it's pretty much detangled, but if need be, I'll take the rat tail comb and I'll slick it back like that. I'll just clip it in the back to hold and move on to the next section. So remember, I had kind of dampish hair in the back that I didn't really care for to like really slick. I just want to make sure it was flat. When I put it on dry hair, do you see that? Like, you see how it weighs the hair down enough to the point where it becomes kind of straight. Like, you see where I put it? See where I put it in comparison to the other pieces of hair? Like, it's laying. You see that? Okay. And make sure everything is flat in the back so that when it lays on top, it has the illusion that everything else is like super straight and slicked, even when it don't be. And that's okay, because, you know, our hair doesn't do that. Essentially, we're manipulating it. I hold it, make sure I pull these hairs so that they're not super tangled around each other. And then I take it and I wrap it in the back. Imagine with the scarf. gonna keep it like this for a good 30 minutes. You can do a lot with like a slick type of style. You can have your hair out, you don't have to braid it back here. You can maybe keep it braided for the meantime and then do this overnight to get that crinkly effect, or like a twist out in the back, or whatever the case is. You can have a little braided bun like so. But that is how you slick the hair. That's how you slick type 4 hair. Like I said, I like doing it on pomades that are on dry hair and making sure that you're working on stretched hair already. It's going to definitely help the process, going to speed it up. It's also going to help you not run into so many tangles and help you keep the hair as stretched as possible, so that when it's time to take it out, you're not having to deal with a mess, essentially. So if you found some value from this content, please make sure you like the button down below. Comment on what's something different that you would do when you slick your hair, or did I teach you anything new? Let me know. Make sure you like the button down below because it really helps with the algorithm. It helps push videos like this towards you, and it helps push my video towards people who want to view content like this. If you guys want to see me put my hair into a ponytail, I'm gonna have that video up next that I'm working on. So if you are watching this, it's either coming or I've already uploaded it. I don't know, it'll be it'll be on the sides. But keep watching my other videos, because I do have beginner bootcamp videos aimed at naturals who are just beginning or are struggling with growing and retaining length for their hair. So keep that in mind. Also, I post on Instagram and TikTok pretty frequently, so go and follow me. I'm always posting stuff before I get it to YouTube, always on my stories and stuff like that. TikTok, Instagram, we're a growing family. Join it, you know, boom. And I'll see you guys in the next one.